Hello, everyone. How is everyone's evening today? So, basically, today's live stream is about attempting suicide from being bullied. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about, on the next live stream, I'm going to talk to you guys about the triggers from being bullied, the triggers from being bullied so bad, and also, Saturday, I'm going to talk about my emotions from me being a bully victim. So dealing with childhood trauma. So I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish all four of these. Probably I'm going to finish two today and two tomorrow. So today I am going to talk to you guys about attempted suicide. So what? Okay, it's the greatest question is people like like a lot of people in the United States of America have an attempt of suicide, but they do in a baddest way. So mostly dealing with domestic violence, trauma, and abuse in their family life, and they couldn't take it, so they do a better way to the triggers of attempted suicide is hanging, pills. I don't know what else they do. Shooting themselves and other things. So, what attempted suicide is very, very rough in the United States because attempted suicide can make it so bad to the point that a lot of people in the generations of the world do have a sympathy of a lot of people attempting suicide. So suicide is so bad in the United States. I don't know the percentage of people commit suicide from bullying. Sometimes people commit suicide from drug overdoses, alcohol abuse, and dealing with domestic violence, dealing with physical abuse, rape, sexual assaults, and all that stuff. So that's what people do. They have what is called a trauma. So trauma is very, very bad in the United States. It can deal with a lot of pain, suffering, and emotional distress. And then when you do that, they don't know what to do. So they lock themselves in a room and they try to attempt suicide. So how can you deal with that, especially in the school districts when you're being bullied, is attempting suicide in mostly different school districts. So being like that and trying to be bullied is very bad in the United States. And as you get into the details on attempted suicide because of different percentages and all this stuff. So the main percentages of attempt suicide is basically um, pain, suffering, and a lot of PTSD. So having those pains, just distress, PTSDs, and everything can give you a lot of trauma. Living in that situation in life is very, very bad. And then a lot of people do talk about their traumas, and then when they can't do it anymore, it's attempted suicide, mostly actually commit suicide. So dealing with that is like a thing that people deal with on a daily basis. So having to deal that pain and suffering and all the other mumble jumbles can be hard in life. So what do you do to not attempt suicide? Well, here's the basic things of not attempting suicide. I'm going to give you those right now. Counseling, writing a journal, listen to music, go to church, go to the beach, get emotional distress therapies, and talk to someone. That's what people will do when they're not going to attempt suicide. So that's what the things you should do when you're not going to attempt suicide. So those are the basic things. What you need to do in life is pray. Try to compose your emotions in life and try to understand why do you feel like the urge to go and commit suicide and go to attempt suicide. Well, And in the United States, there is a possibly, I don't know, how can you figure out the percentage of a lot of students and children who commit suicide? So the percentage of that will be like a lot. And then more percentage of people who attempt suicide, excuse me, is basically a lot. And I don't. I have to. That's a good thing to look up sometimes, so you know, like the basic percentage and how many people do that. And so, pain and suffering from all the worth of being bullied and stuff is bad. Excuse me. All people deal with is when they are bullied and they're doing a lot and they're feeling like the urge to not want to be in this world, then people do need to seek psychological help in the mental hospital. And you need to call crisis or call the suicide line, because that's very, very important when people are like that, or people who are don't say they want to go commit suicide. So what you need to do is call the suicide prevention line, and also call the crisis line, because what people do is very, very painful and sad, and dealing with those is very bad. And all people need to understand in life is call 911. And what 911 can do is take you to a hospital and seek psychological help, or go into a psych ward and then go to a mental institution. Also, you can call the suicide prevention line and the crisis unit line for help and see what services that they have for you. Then what they need to do is you seek psychological help. So, dealing with that and the basic things that you deal with on a daily basis, please, please, if you have the urge of doing something bad, or your mental health is not doing good and you don't want to be in this life and you want to go commit suicide, call someone immediately. Because commit suicide, attempted suicide, please, please call the suicide prevention line or crisis, because that is a very serious thing. Because a lot of people have a habit of not calling the crisis unit or the suicide prevention line, because they want to do it, and then you see on the news, oh, a lot of people, there's a student committed suicide because she was being bullied. And there's a lot of signs, guys. There's a lot of signs that people in this world can hear the signs. But feeling the signs of all the suicide, attempted suicide, can be bad. And what you need to do is call and suicide prevention, because suicide prevention is like there to help you. And then crisis unit is there to help you when you're dealing with something so serious. And then in that part of the environment, I want you guys to understand that people in this world can help you. They have a lot of resources for people who are dealing with suicide, serious mental health problems. And what you can do, guys, is understand that God is always with you. God is always with you on like basic scary environments. What you need to do is please, please pray. Pray. Please get some help, because if you don't get some help, then there is a problem. We have situations like these. That's what news are for. If you see someone doing these things, please understand that they need your help, and they need some help for them, because we do need help sometimes. I see a lot of kids being bullied, and then all of a sudden the news comes, oh, one kid is just committed suicide and attempted suicide because they were being bullied so bad, and nobody doesn't go and say anything. You guys sometimes people in this world need to go say something. If you cite something or cite a bully, and excuse me, if you cite a bullied or someone who is actually bullying them, please document it. That's why I keep my documents or my proof, because I was a bully victim, and I keep my proof because I'm here to spread awareness. I'm here to help. And that's what I plan on doing. Which everyone needs to do in this world needs to understand that not a lot of people can be bullies. But if you hang out with the wrong crowd, then that's a problem. So we have what you when I give you a perspective of positivity and negativity. So positivity is hanging out with the crowd that will be in your life. Negativity is like, oh, she's bullied, oh, she stinks, blah blah blah. And I don't want to say the other thing. So what do you do in that situation of of seeing someone being bullied? Well, in the negative situation and the positive, so if a positive person sees someone in the negative situation being bullied, well, go to the principal, go to the counselor, or go to the police, because that's a situation. So stay positive, guys. Don't be negatives. And then what you call what's called respectful, because people who are dealing with a situation in the home who are like that and they need help. A lot of people in this world do need help. And I love to help people. And maybe one day I will like to help people who need psychological mental health, because there's a lot of people, and I think the state of New Jersey has a lot of people that are really, really suffering from addiction and childhood trauma and abuse and all that stuff. Because we do see that in the news, and then when they deal with that, their mental health can take a toll on them, and then one person commits suicide and the other person fails to attempt because they don't have any kind of special resources, because dealing with that situation, because what people do in this world is very, very cruel. People can break your hearts, guys. Like, a lot of people in this world can break your hearts. And it's sad that people are so cruel. And what people can do can be so cruel to the point that why are you here? So basically, as I talk to you guys, as I get ready to finish attempted suicide, what you guys need to do is write in the journal when how much you feel and all this stuff, because people do suicide letters and all this stuff and how they feel. Because I don't do that stuff. I write in my journal. I write how I feel when I'm angry or upset or overwhelmed with anxiety. So I do is I write in my journal, and how people need to write in theirs. It's very like important for them to like cope with their anxiety and their depression and PT, and their socialized from families who are dealing with grief of loved ones, children who are in an abusive home, and a lot of stuff in this world, because we do have a lot of children who are dealing with abusive families, and then families who are on addictions, families who are dealing with that, because we have a lot of children who are in the foster care system because of that. And perspective of life and all that things is very important, because people can be cruel, which is true. And I want you guys to understand that. Please, please, please respect others, that you want to be respected, and try to understand that we all love each other and we all love the God. God always has a good perspective in life, because that's very important to deal with. And what people need to do, what people need to understand is love and stay in that connection of everything is like so important to you, and you always have to deal with that connection in life, which is true. You deal with all these connections, and it's like, how can I stay in one connection? How can I deal with another connection into one happy, healthy group connection, which is very important, and it's really good. And what you guys need to do in general is pray. If anyone who is religious go to church and all that stuff, like pray to God that you have healing and prayers, and underestimate that God is always with you and God will be with you during these difficult days. And please, please, if you see a situation in a family or in your home who is dealing with suicide and mental health, please call suicide prevention or crisis unit, which is very important. So I just finished all that situation and all this stuff when people's in the home. So I'm gonna talk to maybe around 11. I don't know. It might be a late stream. So we are done with attempted suicide. So we're gonna go on to triggers from being bullied so bad. So basically the triggers are so serious. Like people do get triggers from being very, very bullied, like very bad. And it's so hard that you deal with someone who is on anything like autism spectrum, trauma, having other abilities, disabilities, and a lot of other things. And then you see a trigger, and then someone's being bullied, and nobody's not saying anything, which can be a trigger, which can be a major trigger. So that's going to be in that's going to be next segment in about 2 hours from now. So, yep, I'm going to do a next segment in about 2 hours. So please, 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 everybody have a great day. And it's almost the weekend and we're in August. Have a blessed August. I love, and we're going in September soon, which is amazing. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys in a little while. Love you. Bye. Mwah. Thanks.